Confidence versus validation. Let's get into it. Most men think confidence is loud. They think confidence is talking the most, flexing the hardest, being seen everywhere. That's not confidence. That's validation. Hunger dressed up as bravado. A woman can smell that shit a mile away. Here's the truth. Most men don't want to hear. If you need to be noticed, you're already losing. If you need approval, you're already off balance. And if you need reassurance, you're not confident. You're anxious. Confidence and validation are not cousins. They're enemies. Validation is borrowed energy. Confidence is self-generated. A man chasing validation is always reacting. A confident man is grounded. He's stable. He's not in a rush to prove anything to anyone. That's why two men can say the same words, do the same things, and get completely different reactions from women. One is trying to choose. The other has already chosen itself. Let me break this down in plain language. Validation is when you need her response to feel okay. You text and wait. You check the phone. You reread the message. You wonder what she meant. You adjust your behavior based on her mood. That's not game. That's anxiety management. Confidence doesn't rush. Confidence doesn't explain itself. Confidence doesn't negotiate attraction. A confident man is comfortable with silence. He's comfortable with her uncertainty. He's even comfortable with her walking away. And that's the part most men can't handle. See, men were taught to avoid rejection at all costs. So they perform, they overgive, they overtalk, they overinvest. They think effort creates attraction. Effort without self-respect creates resentment. And women feel that shift immediately. Confidence is not saying the right thing. It's not knowing the perfect line. It's not having the best angle. Confidence is emotional independence. It's being okay whether she likes you or not. Not pretending to be okay. Actually being okay with the shit. And most men aren't confident. They're just optimistic beggars. They hope if they do enough, she'll validate them, compliment them, choose them. But attraction doesn't come from hope. It comes from being certain. Here's something you need to really sit with. A confident man doesn't need to convince a woman he's valuable. He assumes it and moves accordingly. That assumption changes everything. His tone is different. His pace is different. His decisions are different. He doesn't rush intimacy. He doesn't rush commitment. He doesn't rush attention. He allows women to come towards him. Now, let's talk about where men mess this up. Men think validation is confidence because it feels good in the moment. Attention feels good. Compliments feels good. But dopamine isn't dominance, and attention isn't respect. A woman can like you and not respect you, man. She can talk to you and not take you seriously. She can enjoy your presence and still see you as weak. Respect comes from boundaries, and boundaries come from confidence. A man with confidence is willing to disappoint. He's willing to say no. He's willing to walk away, like I said before. A man seeking validation avoids tension. He smooths everything over. He apologizes too fast. He explains too much. Confidence doesn't over-explain. It lets shit sit. And here's the part that separates men from the boys. Confidence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care without being controlled by the outcome. That's a grown man skill. Most men are emotionally overcharged with women they barely know. They give strangers powers over their mood and their focus and their self-image. That's not masculine. That's undisciplined. Confidence is discipline. It's knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you won't tolerate, even if it costs you access, even if it costs you attention, especially then. Let me say this clearly. Women don't respond to confidence because it's flashy. They respond because it feels safe to them. A man who doesn't need validation isn't unpredictable. He's not erratic. He's not emotionally swinging. He's solid. And being solid these days is rare. That's why validation-seeking men always feel like they're being tested, because they are. Women test for emotional stability. They test for self-respect. They test to see if you fold under pressure. If your confidence disappears the moment she pulls back, it wasn't confidence, it was performance. Real confidence doesn't collapse when the tension is removed. It stays intact. Here's a simple question every man needs to ask himself. If no woman noticed you for the next 30 days, would you still respect yourself? If the answer is no, that's the work. Not lines, not tactics, not tricks. The work is internal. Men want shortcuts because shortcuts feel powerful, but shortcuts create dependency. Confidence is built through consistency, through doing what you said you do, through standards. You don't bend for comfort. When a man says, I don't chase, but his behavior screams desperation, women can see that. You can't fake confidence long term. Your nervous system gives it away. Your tone, your pacing, your reactions. Confidence slows down. Validation speeds up. Confidence is quiet. Validation is noisy. Here's the final piece most men miss. A confident man doesn't try to be liked. He focuses on being aligned. Aligned with his values, aligned with his goals, aligned with his life. Women don't want to be your purpose. They want to be invited into a purpose that already exists. When you chase validation, you make her the prize. When you stand in confidence, you become selective. And selectivity is magnetic. Not arrogance, not disrespect. Selectivity. Knowing that not every woman deserves access to you. Knowing that chemistry isn't enough without character. Knowing that peace matters more than attention. That's confidence. If you got something from this, sit with it. Don't rush to apply it, absorb it. Because the difference between confidence and validation isn't something you memorize, it's something you embody. And once you do, everything changes. And that's a dose of game. Make sure you go to www.adoseofgame and pick up my book, Straight Game, No Chaser, How to Be a Player. It's a good read and full of good game. I'll holler at you guys in the next video.